First of all, guys, what if Naruto had the Uzumaki curse? What if Naruto was half Kryptonian and half Saiyan? They're all gonna be coming out, guys. Just sit back and relax, yes. I know it's been a while, but trust me, they're gonna come out, guys. I haven't cancelled any of them, so just sit back and relax. They'll be out soon, guys. I haven't cancelled any series on this channel, so don't worry about that. So today I'm gonna be giving you part 16 of What If Naruto Dreamed to Surpass the Gods. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to check out the other channels: Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which is this, and Anime Prince, guys. Yes, it sounds crazy, but I indeed have 4 channels that I post What If on every single day. Yes, every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode starts? The intro, guys. So, the last spot we left off, Naruto woke up in the same bed as Ino. No, that was surprising. The both of them felt a bit awkward, but they got through that awkwardness as they started to talk. Ino got dressed as she left. She went home and she got a shower. As Sakura and Tenten came to visit her, asking her about last night, she was confused what they were talking about. How did they know that? And it turns out that they were the one that helped her do it. It turns out that she was a bit more drunk than they thought. However, she swore that she would never ever be their friend again if they never helped her. She confessed to them how much she loved Naruto and how much she wanted to be with him, and she needed their help, so they decided to give her their help by setting things up so the both of them end up in the same bed. However, they didn't really do anything last night. But the two girls hounded Ino until she finally confessed that she actually indeed had feelings for him, but she might have lost her chance with what she did. However, they swore that they would help her out. While that was going on, Naruto was called, as Karin Uzumaki came to him. She told him her last name so that he would trust her and understand about the situation Sasuke was taken. The fox had told Naruto that, from the description, it sounds like the same man that had controlled him that night. The fox had never told Naruto what happened, but there was a man out there that had the power to control the Kyuubi. Hearing that, Naruto knew that this man was definitely a big threat, bigger than they might thought. So with that, he had to make a critical move. Some time passed as Naruto and Karin and a few envoys made their way. They were trying to find Sasuke Uchiha. They had no idea if this man had killed Sasuke or what, as Karin had explained to them that Sasuke had built a team so that they could hunt after Itachi. So now they already knew that Naruto let Sasuke get away. After all, she already spoke about that in the office. While that was happening though, Pain arrived at Konoha and decided to decimate the village. Revenge upon losing his parents, the Konoha ninjas were still on his mind. After all, he had no means to destroy the village other than going after Naruto, as he used Hidan and Kakazu as a distraction while they fought at the Hidden Leaf. Jiraiya arrived on the scene as he was able to fight off against the Pain. However, knowing that Naruto might be here soon, Nagato did not hold back one bit as the 6 paths of Pain jumped Jiraiya at once. And as strong as the Toad Sannin was, he was no match for all of them, grouping up on him. While that was going on, Naruto came across Hidan and Kakazu, as he was informed by the Great Elder Toad that what was going on at Konoha, as Naruto told him to summon him there in 3 minutes. He then proceeded to lay down the drop on Hidan and Kakazu. Naruto was moving like a beast. He was fast, durable, as he ended up burning Hidan. Going after Kakazu, Naruto ended up attacking him with full force. Kakazu was strong and resilient, however, in a fully powered stage mode, Naruto was able to break through his guard and decimate him where he stood. Back at the village, as Paul came back, as Jiraiya was not able to activate Sage Mode in a small amount of time, which is a bigger reason why he lost, and he had no chance against the Bats of Pain. Ino tried to assist, however, Konan killed her. Ino techniques were rather vicious and strong because of her training under Lady Tsunade, however Konan dissembled her body in paper and captured Ino. Sakura eyes widened as she watched Ino got ran straight through the heart. As she rushed over and attacked, Konan forced her to flee back. Tsunade was barely on her feet as she was exhausted after using Katsuya to heal all the people. The destruction was palpable all around. As the robot Pain winked against Tsunade, however, at that moment Naruto arrived and he decimated the path. Tsunade gave Naruto the Katsuya that she had, as they had witnessed the battle between Pain and the others, so they knew the powers and the abilities that he had. As Naruto's Sage Mode was activated, so he could feel everyone's life force, and he could not feel Ino's. Kakashi and Team Guy was not in the village, so that meant they weren't dead but Ino's were gone. As Naruto searched around, he saw Sakura and the others as he saw Ino's body. He started to lose it, however, years of training in Anvu kept him calm, as he got a clone to take Tsunade away. As Naruto had, Paul moved Jiraiya's body, as he grabbed Ino and moved away with her as well, moving her back towards the others. As Naruto stood there, the rage from him was palpable. There was an aura of steam radiating off his body. He was pissed, no, he was violent. Never before had such rage leaked into his core. Even the fox felt it, and it was nothing but raw hatred, as Naruto was getting swallowed in the depths of hatred. As Katsuya decided to relay the information to him, for him to know what was going on, as Naruto's eyes locked with Pain. The real path, Tendo in the center, who was looking rather amused. The six paths rid themselves as Naruto started to walk towards them. Konan flew towards where the real Nagato was, knowing that she should be aid to him just in case. However, Nagato had no idea that he just released a monster of hate that has been trying to calm himself for the past couple of years. As for Sasuke, he was nowhere to be found, as Karen and the Anvus could not find him anywhere. He was just gone. They had no idea what happened to him or what that masked man was doing to him, but they knew it was not anything good at all. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the PlayStation of yourself, and what do you say we begin this new episode, guys? What do you mean, said Sakura. We need to help. As Katsuya had just told him that Naruto wished for all of them to stay back. That guy was able to infiltrate the village and kill so much people. Sakura, said Shikamaru. As much as what Pain did was horrendous and shows his power. We going down there right now will just be a hindrance, Naruto, and you know that. As Shikamaru thought about it in a strategic way. He had seen how much powerful Naruto was than them. He had seen and felt the rage coming from the blonde, and the power that was literally oozing from him at the moment. Them going down there now will just have Naruto worrying about them if Pain chose to attack them. Sakura grit her teeth in frustration, as you could see the tears mark across her cheek. Ino had died right in front of her, and she wanted nothing more than to get revenge, but she knew that doing something stupid right now could cost them everything. As she looked down there, she trusted Naruto before and he always came out on top. She was just gonna have to do the same right now, as the remaining members all looked down as well, worrying about what will happen as Naruto stood there in front of the six paths of Pain. Down below in the gigantic crater, that one in the back, he was able to revive the others. Judging from the one that you killed earlier, you see he's back on his feet. As Naruto noticed, the bald-headed path was back on his feet as well. His mind was running a mile a minute. The Rinnegan has the ability to revive the dead, he thought to himself. As Katsuya listed off all the abilities that she's seen so far, as she went under his coat to hide there for the moment, Tendo started to speak. It took you long enough to arrive, but as you can see, there is no more hidden leaf. The hope that you had that you or your friends could destroy the organization, or even face a god like myself, has dwindled down to nothingness. I have defeated your master. I have destroyed your village, killed your friends. There is no reason for you to stand alone anymore. Submit defeat, and I shall use what is inside of you to change this world for the better. Shut up, said Naruto. As Tendo narrowed his eyes. It seems you're still naive to the I said shut the hell up, said Naruto. I'm not here to talk. The only thing I see in front of me now is another dead target. And I'll make sure to kill every single one of you. And then, I'm coming for you, said Naruto. Tendo narrowed his eyes. However, Naruto could feel it. He could feel all of their chakra were intertwined. It was just one. So he could tell that it was just one person controlling all of these puppets. However, where the source was coming from, it was hard to pinpoint. He would need to make contact with their chakra. As he narrowed his eyes towards the rods in their body, as he could feel the sensation, Naruto closed his eyes as he felt it. So that's it, huh? He said as he twisted his feet. As he shot off in a burst of speed, the paths all formed into formation. Tendo was still not fully ready after using the almighty push, so they switched up. The robot path quickly opened his skull as he proceeded to shoot a beam of condensed chakra towards Naruto. Summoning Jutsu, as a gigantic bird and a rhino was summoned. As Naruto leaped in the air, the bird came down towards him. The bird crashed right into him as he slammed into the earth. However, as smoke and dust and debris picked up, the bird was the thing that poofed away. As Naruto bolted out of the smoke at unprecedented speed, the rhino rushed right into him as Naruto pulled his fist back and cracked it in the thing's face. The thing dispelled upon contact. Stronger than I thought, said Tendo. A gigantic dog then came rushing towards Naruto. As the thing went to devour him whole, Naruto jumped right in the thing's mouth, shocking them. It was then that Naruto's body exploded from within, causing a detrimental blast that tore the dog to pieces, incinerating all of his body. A clone? Tendo said, as he looked back to where the smoke was when the bird had crashed into Naruto. However, he saw the whips of chakra, Senjutsu. As he looked up, he heard the sound as a Rasen shuriken was sent, hurled towards him. The absorption pad jumped in the way rather quickly as he held out his hand, ready to absorb the technique. However, he felt that something was off. Poof! Immediately, the technique dissolved into 3 clones. One of them drive their fist forward and slam right into the absorption pad face. The Sage Enhanced Punch crushed his head into the earth. The other 2 split instantly. It was at that moment that Tendo realized who he was going after. However, his power returned. Almighty! Push, he said. With the others behind him, he released the ricochet of force, causing the 2 Naruto to be blown back. Luckily, the body of the absorption path had been pulled back. As the revival path starts, the sequence of bringing him back, however, the real Naruto flashed right beside the revival path. It was just for a second, a split second, and shock all of them. The 2 Naruto that were blown away, one of them was the real one, the one on the left. However, it was then that Tendo realized that mark, he thought to himself, as the Harushin mark that he had placed on the absorption path when he had slammed his face into the earth. A Rasengan was already in Naruto's hand as he stuffed it in the face of the revival path. The thing exploded outwards. Immediately, the robot path thrust a gigantic saw blade forward. However, Naruto flashed away as he appeared back beside his clone. The clone was much more durable with the Sage Enhanced Chakra flooding through it. A scowl came on Tendo's face. Pissed off at what just happened, he just lost 2 paths in mere minutes. He held out his hand. Universal pull, he said. Summoning Jutsu. As once again this time a gigantic bull appeared. It was running directly into Naruto who was being pulled. However, chains, like a porcupine, shot from Naruto from all sides, It stabbed right through the bull. It then twisted and launched it back towards the paths. However, the summoning path dispelled him. The robot path gripped his cloak as he tore it off. As he got two more arms at his back. As his head opened up, a tail came out like a spine, as it had razor sharp edge on it. Can't you see all of your attempts are futile? You may take down a few of us, but it doesn't matter how much you do, because in the end, I will be the one that is victorious. Wasting time is only delaying the inevitable. Just give up and accept peace. I said. Shut the hell up, said Naruto, as he was not here to talk. As there was a poof, a seal from his wrist. Several Hiraishin kunais appear in his palm, in both hands as he launched them. Tendo moved forward as quickly as possible. Almighty push, he said, knowing that having those things as close to him as possible wasn't a good idea. As he deflected all of them, a chain shot from Naruto's palm right towards Tendo. Immediately though, the human path got in the way as he blocked the attack with a rod. As Naruto's eyes focused on Tendo, does he know? Tendo wondered to himself. As he saw Naruto attack him right after he just used his technique, the robot path rushed forward, followed by the summoning path. As the both of them flanked him at each side, the human path rushed towards the center, as Naruto was stuck right there. Tendo stood behind waiting. The human path was the first one to come in as he swung. Naruto ducked underneath it. The robot path came down as he tried to tear right through Naruto's shoulder to either take off his arm or conflict him with enough pain to make him fall to his knees. However, Naruto twisted his body. The summoning path lashed out with a fist. As Naruto dropped flat down to the earth, the human path brought down his heel. Naruto rolled at the right moment as the ground cracked with incredible force. However, Naruto was then yanked off the ground by Tendo as he pulled out a rod and drove it forward. But Naruto's chain stuck into the ground, stopping him inches away from the rod. A sword poofed in Naruto's palm as he gripped the handle. Wind chakra generated on the blade as he brought it down. Tendo brought the rod up. The two colliding forces clashed. Sparks flew everywhere. The human path rushed as he gripped onto the back of Naruto's chain and yanked it. However, spikes emerged and tore right through his arm. As Naruto then twisted his feet, wind style. Absorbing tornado, he said as he spun, causing a violent backlash as everything was twisted and thrown. All of them were thrown away. They righted themselves rather quickly. Tendo flipping as the 5 seconds were up. However, he realized something right at that moment. The kunais. He quickly turned. The summoning path turned as he raised his hand to summon. However, a sword split right through his throat, as his head was cleanly sliced off. Tendo frowned as Naruto blinked away as a force blew every single kunai away into the dust. The robot path generated a beam on his skull as he blasted, tearing apart the earth. Naruto leaped out of the earth at the right moment as the human path appeared behind him and dropped a leg on his shoulder. The force sent Naruto sailing from the heavens. His throat was grabbed by Tendo as he pulled out another rod. It's over. However, Naruto's fist shattered the rod into pieces as he grabbed the hand that was around his throat and started to peel it off. Tendo was shocked. What monstrous strength as he saw that look in Naruto's eyes. As the human path quickly rushed forward to attack Naruto from his blind side, Tendo propelled himself backwards as chains erupted from his body. The human path flipped away as the robot path thrust forward his head like a saw as he started to tear through the chains. Tendo raised his hand as Naruto was blown away, his body smacking into a gigantic boulder. As the three paths leaped up in the air, all of them with a rod, as they brought it down and stabbed right through Naruto and pinned him down to the ground. As they all rose back up to their feet, as I said, you doing this is nothing but. As Tendo's eyes widened as a human path threw him away, launching him backwards. There was a good reason why he did that. The robot Path tried to jump away, but his body was stuck. So was the human Path as a gravitational force. A seal on the back of Naruto's coat started to pull them down. Tendo raised his hand, however, he had to jump away from a Rasen shuriken that almost tore him to pieces. And that cost him, as the two other Paths were pulled down. The seal opened up as their bodies were being sucked inside before it exploded, raining chunks and debris everywhere. As Naruto appeared a distance away, as he was breathing a bit heavier than before, these were not normal clones. Not to mention he was running low on sage energy. After distributing a large amount to each of his clones, he could only create 4 when he was like this, and he gave them all a piece of it, and it was draining him rather badly. And with his fight earlier with Kakazo and Hidan, he was using fully sage mode. As the markings across his face quickly vanished, he would need time to reabsorb. I had heard how tricky you were, said Tendo. Even my eyes cannot distinguish between the real or the fake when you're using your sage mode. Not to mention how impeccable your clones are. I must admit, you are truly powerful, but now it is over, Tendo said. You are weakened, and with the level of strength that you possess now, there is no way that you can defeat me. As Naruto got to his feet, he was blasted away. This time the real one. His body crashed into a rock. Tendo appeared in front of him and smashed his fist in Naruto's face, driving him into the earth. As blood started to leak from Naruto's nose, chains shot from his palm. However, Tendo brought a rod down as he pierced right through the link, tearing the chain into the ground. He then dropped his heel in Naruto's face, cracking the earth with immense force. Now you understand the difference between a god and a mortal. Your power might be great, but it still is no match for a god. Submit. He flipped Naruto over and stomped on his chest. Speak, damn it, he said, as Naruto looked him right in the eyes. As Naruto did not blink or cower away. I'm gonna kill you, and that's all you need to hear from me. Finally. You think you're above me, speaking when you please. Can't you see the situation that you're in right now? Can't you see that you lost? Why don't you just understand? Said Tendo as he drive a rod right through Naruto's shoulder, as Naruto cried out in pain. Why can't you understand that it is futile? Your pain is only bringing you anguish. What I seek to bring is peace. You dare speak about peace after what you've done, said Naruto. My peace is beyond your comprehending, but a mind as yours should be able to understand that I'm doing this to ensure that our future generation does not suffer as we did. And with the power inside of you, I will be able to fix the world. But yet you still fight me. I've heard about your goal. The ghosts who wish to be the most powerful shinobi. However, your conquest is just wasting time. The only need for power is to bring external peace. And the only way to do so is to show this world that war is not the solution. You mean by killing everyone here and destroying my village, that is not the solution. Actions had to be done to ensure that people truly understand what the motive I'm driving is. However, people like you still decide to fight me. I have no idea who you're trying to convince with this amount of bullshit, but I can assure you, this is not the right way to bring peace, because there is no way to bring peace. Mankind will always war and fight no matter what happens. The only peace we get is a time of calmness between the wave, before you or someone as sick and psychotic as you decide to start a goddamn war. When you decide to go after the tail beasts, you think you're bringing peace. All you're bringing is more death and chaos, and you try to justify it. Well, I'm not buying your bullshit. I'm gonna kill every single one of you for what you did today. I see. My words are nothing but lost on you. You will never understand. Meanwhile, back at the tree, as Nagato was inside when he felt it, the force hit him like a hurricane. As he felt two eyes watching over him, as he saw Naruto's face looking deep into his own. The feeling rushed over him as he stood there in shock. What happened? Said Konan. He found me. Back towards the fight. Nagato snapped his head towards the left as he saw there was a clone far over in the distance. It had one of his rods. It was holding it within its palm. Its body was imbued with sage energy. He gave the last of his sage energy over to the clone to use it to track him down. The clone then poofed away. Naruto literally tore himself out of the ground. The rod tore right through his back, as he did not wince in pain or anything as he headbutted Tendo right in the face, knocking him back. Tendo staggered, however, he raised his hand. Almighty push, he said. Naruto's chains dug deep within the earth. As Naruto's face and hair was blown back, however, he gripped on tightly. Spit came from his mouth as his eyes watered, the force slamming into him like a hurricane. However, he refused to give up. He refused as Tendo applied more force. But Naruto stood there, unwavering. Tendo was losing his patience as he raised both of his hands. As Naruto's hands were pushed back, his left arm got dislocated as a popping sound could be heard. His right arm then got dislocated as well as his arms were blown back. As Tendo ran out of steam, he drove his fist forward, however Naruto ducked underneath it. Two chains wrapped around Naruto's arm and popped them back into the sockets. As Naruto dropped low before he brought up his leg, a heel slammed under Tendo's chin, launching him backwards. Electricity gathered on Naruto's palm as it twisted around before he shot it forward. Tendo twisted his body in mid-air as the thing tore through his left shoulder. His body dropped to the ground, electricity gathering around him. He quickly got to his feet though, like a puppet as he jumped back. He ran as Naruto chased after him. Up towards the top, they're running. Pain is running. The Hyuga Kyo that was there informed them. Naruto is after him. Back down towards the fight. Tendo drive his fist into the earth, causing a massive water geyser to split and shot towards Naruto. It was like a literal ocean being filled as a crater. The water came down with a tremendous force. However, Naruto was already done with his hand signs before he split the ocean right down to the center with a massive wind attack. He then propelled himself forward using his chains to throw him. Tendo turned, however, his power had returned. He blasted Naruto out of the air. But Naruto used his chains to pull him deep down into the water. Tendo flipped away as he had no choice. Quickly gathering his chakra, Nagato started to cough blood. Nagato, you're going too far, said Konan. I have to, otherwise we will all die, he said, as he gathered the necessary chakra and sent it to Tendo. He threw a small tiny black ball in the air. The entire ocean of water that Tendo had released started to rise up, revealing Naruto. Sage mode still activated, Naruto glanced up, confused, when he saw everything being sucked up. Luckily, the others were out of the range of the attack. What the hell is that? Said Kiba as he gritted his teeth. All of the ninjas looked on in shock and awe at the destructive power of the Rinnegan. They watched as everything was being pulled as Naruto found himself being yanked away as well. He sent his chains out. However, the entire ground started to be pulled apart and ripped apart. Tendo watched as his gravitational force caused him to remain where he was. As Naruto tried to hold on, but he could not, as Tendo watched all of this. As Naruto was sucked into the ball, the miniature moon being stuck there. Is Naruto inside of that? Said Sakura with shock in her face. No, said Kyo. He's alright, Sakura said. He vanished. As KO turned his gaze towards the last remaining path, he doesn't know. Tendo dropped to one knee, as all of the chakra that was granted to him a moment ago, well, it was a lot, and he could not use the attack for a moment. However, that is when chains erupted from the earth. Tendo was shocked as his arms were pulled behind him and wrapped around with chains. His face was smashed into the earth with incredible force. How? He said. I captured you. That is what I want you to think, said Naruto. You let your guard down when you realized that I was captured. Have you forgotten what I'm known for? Have you forgotten my title, you idiot, said Naruto. The red flash, said Tendo. But I would have sensed their chakra. There's no way that you could have hid that much chakra away from me. Before you walk into a village attacking people and their home, you should know what you're up against. I'm also a seal master, said Naruto as he performed a Rasengan. Tendo's head was obliterated as Naruto completely destroyed it. As a gigantic moon started to fall, It's over, said KO. As a smile came on the other's face, he did it. He's gone, said KO confused. Wait, where did he go? KO looked around, but he couldn't find Naruto anywhere, as he had no idea. A distance away, Nagato's eyes snapped open, a frown on his face. That is when a kunai was buried right in the tree, causing Konoha to snap her gaze on it. He found us. The moment his clone found me, he sent him here. And with that kunai, a red flash appeared. The tree was torn apart, as a blade literally sliced the entire top off, showing that it was made from paper. The wind on the blade performing more durably even than before. As Naruto came face to face, light peered down on his withered, skinny, bony body as Nagato had sweat all over his face. He quickly fired off a rod from the machine. However, Naruto twisted himself as the thing grazed his side. It stabbed into a tree behind him. You think your little tricks will stop me now, said Naruto. I must admit, you were stronger than I thought. But it seems like luck is on my side, said Nagato, as he watches Naruto's sage mode fuel out, the markings leaving his face as Naruto started to pant. Konoha shot forward the paper blade as Nagato saw it. Konoha, no, he said, but it was too late as he drive the blade through Naruto's stomach. Blood started to drip. It's over, she was about to say until Naruto gripped her hands. Yes, it is. Poof! Nagato watched as 10 clones poofed around Konoha and Naruto. They slammed their hands together as a seal appeared on their chests. Immediately, the entire place was surrounded by kanji fuinjutsu. Konoha felt all of her strength leave her. What is this? She said. I've sealed off your chakra. No chakra can be used in this radius. You fool, she said. You're affected as well. With that wound, you will die. I've been through worse, said Naruto, as he gripped her tight as she twists. Well, she tried to, but the blade fell apart, given that it was made from chakra with her paper. As Naruto was bleeding badly, even the fox connection was cut off to him. Konoha moved back as she thrust her fist towards his face. However, Naruto ducked underneath as he grabbed her arm and twists. He flipped her and slammed her on the ground. She brought her hand up as she punched him right in the wound, causing him to stagger back and cough up blood. She then proceeded to kick him as he dropped to the ground. She saw a rather large rock as she gripped it. She raised it as she brought it down. Naruto cried out in pain as she slammed it right on his wound. He reached into his pouch as he pulled a kunai. The clones that surrounded him, they all went up in smokes after performing the sealing, taking the last amount of chocolate they had. As Naruto brought his hand up, however, the strength left him as his hand fell to the ground. Konoha chuckled, you fool. You just damned yourself, she said. Release this seal immediately. as Naruto looked towards her. Before he spat the blood out of his mouth right in her eyes. Konan staggered back as it went right in her eyes. As Naruto dragged the kunai and brought it, her left eye widened in shock. As she saw him moving towards her, he dropped right on top of her. She punched him in his wound once again. As he cried in pain, she tried to squeeze it. As Naruto was coughing up blood, the pain was unbearable, but he brought his hand down and drive the kunai in her throat. As she started to cough up blood, gurgling. However, at that moment, a rod tore through Naruto's stomach. Naruto had 3 clones, trying to stop Nagato from intervening, but he dispelled them. As he pulled his arm out of the walker, he saw Konan got stabbed through the throat as he fired one of his rods, and it tore right through Naruto's stomach, causing him to fall. Konan was gurgling on blood, unable to speak, unable to talk, as her mouth was filled with blood. Nagato quickly moved his machine as he started to walk with strange spider legs. As Naruto was on the ground, as the seal had been broken as he was there. "You're gonna die." A voice said in his head, "You need to use my chakra. Use it! Use it now!" the fox yelled at him. As Naruto's vision was hazy, back towards the others. I'm afraid that the me that was with Naruto just dispelled. He went after the real pain. However, he performed a seal to shut off all chakra in the vicinity. "Why would he do that?" said Kiba. "Is he affected?" "I'm afraid he is." "Damn it, the real pain." I guess Naruto was able to figure out something that we did not. All we can do now is have faith in him, that he will come through this alive. Shikamaru did not see it that way though. "We need to have someone out there to back him up," he said, as he turned towards the remaining shinobis. "Alright," he spoke up. Meanwhile, as Nagato was moving towards Konan, who was gurgling, gasping for air, however, before he could reach her, though he felt it, he raised his hand, a almighty push, blasting away the chains. But in that last second, Naruto's head smashed into his. As Naruto's body was so exhausted, but he used the chains to pull him as he cracked his skull into Nagato's. Blood started to flow. However, Naruto's skull was much more durable, as Nagato was bleeding. As Naruto grabbed him and threw his arms around him in his machine, Nagato was about to pierce Naruto, however, before he could though, Naruto sent chains through his chest, tearing through Nagato's back. As Naruto's head dropped right on his shoulder, the red chakra burned in his skin. Nagato grit his teeth. "Damn you," he said. "I told you I was going to kill you," said Naruto. As he then fell, dropping right beside Nagato as Nagato's head fell over. As Konan watched as her friend died. However, her life started to slip away. The wound in Naruto's stomach and shoulder slowly started to heal. As he slowly picked himself up. "Relax, kid, it's over. You're only gonna kill yourself if you keep on moving. These wounds aren't easy to heal. I have to bring them back," said Naruto. "What?" the fox said. As Naruto coughed up blood, "I'm gonna bring them all back." He brought his hand up. Shadow Clone Jutsu. As 2 clones poof into reality, one of them stepped forward and tore Nagato's eyes out of his socket. "Kid, what are you doing?" the fox said to him. However, Naruto cut the link between them. The fox had no choice but to heal him, but he could not speak to Naruto. As another one of the clones came forward, his hand glowing green. He did know a bit of medical ninjutsu, as the clone removed Naruto's eyes out of his sockets. As Naruto was forced to sit down on the ground, he bit his lip, however he kept the pain in. The 2 Rinnegan eyes were brought over towards him. The clone placed a hand over his forehead, and another one over his eyes, and surgically implanted the eyes into his. Naruto's entire body started to shake, as he trembled, feeling his eyes connected to his nervous system. Naruto's head shot to the heavens, as he felt it. He felt it all. The clone on the left started to gather nature energy to ensure that he can do this. to make sure his body was durable enough. Naruto felt it. Naruto felt a gravitational force between here and the moon. He felt information being flooded into his mind. And the process was gonna kill him, but he did not care. As it was overwhelming, he started to grip his head in pain. However, he bear through it. As Naruto grunted on the ground as he rolled, the clone looked over at him worriedly as he started to gather more nature energy, as all the supply that Naruto had run out. As Naruto grit his head as he could feel the foundation, he could feel the nature, he could feel everything around him, the knowledge, the technique, the running rebirth, all of it. The Almighty pushed every information with his eyes, started to flood into his soul and being. As Naruto collapsed, steam came from his eyes and his entire body. His eyes now showed the godly Rinnegan. However, not for too long as Naruto slammed his hands together, reaching into the depths of his soul. The clone poofed away, sending that nature energy back to him. The Rinnegan started glistening a green color as Naruto released all remaining chakra in his body. Renny rebirth, he said. Meanwhile, inside the mindscape, Naruto appeared. "What have you done?" said Kurama in rage. "Don't worry," said Naruto. "I want to make a deal." The fox raised the eyebrow. "When you're about to die, yes. I'm gonna free you. As you know, time moves differently here. I want you to go and hide. You told me that you didn't want to destroy the village and that man forced you. However, he's still out there," said Naruto. "And he's gonna come after you. I want you to hide as best as you can. Leave this place until Konoha and the other nations rise up and deal with the remaining Akatsuki members. I know that Konoha has imprisoned you for the better part of a century now." As Naruto collapsed to his knees, "But I'm begging you, please, just go and hide. I know you owe me no obligations, because I've imprisoned you as well. Although I tried to make your life better, I've still held you at bay. I need you to promise me that you won't turn against them." The fox narrowed his eyes. "But you will die, kid," he said. "I know, and that's something I'm willing to do. In order to bring them all back, just promise me that you will live up to our deal," said Naruto as his hair started to turn white, as he felt himself getting weaker. Back in Konoha, before the group could move off. What the hell is that? As they saw something appear in the center of the village. Some kind of monster. It opened its mouth as green flames started to fly out of it and hit people. Jiraiya groaned on the ground as he picked himself up. What the hell? Paul looked up in shock as he looked over towards Ma, who started to rise as well. "What happened?" Ino said. Sakura jumped in shock. "Ino, you're alive. What's going on? They're coming back. They're all coming back." A small smirk came on Shikamaru's face. "Huh. You said that you wanted to be the strongest, for your name to be heard amongst the gods. And here you are doing something that only gods can do," he said, as he knew that Naruto was the one doing this. "What's going on?" Ino said, confused. "What happened?" You died," Sakura said, and Naruto, "Where's Naruto?" Ino said. "He went off." As Ino looked around, where did he go? Shikamaru looked towards the team. "You people, I'm coming," Ino said. "Ino, you just got—" "I said I'm coming," she yelled. "Fine. Let's make sure Naruto is alright," as they move off. Back in the seal. "Thanks for your help," said Naruto. As he stepped forward, the fox hadn't said anything or agreed to Naruto deal, he just watched him. The human willing to free him, as long as he did not destroy Konoha. In the outside world, it seems that Naruto was standing still. As his hair had turned completely white, his body had withered down. Inside the mindscape, the seal was breaking apart. "Naruto," a voice said, as Naruto froze. As he slowly turned around, his hand in front of the seal. As he looked towards the crying redhead who stood there. The man beside her. "Mother. Father," he said. the smile on his face. As Kushner rushed forward, Minato had a sad look on his face. His son was doing the same thing that he did, sacrificing himself for the village. As Minato watched, slowly making his way toward his son. As Kushner crashed right into Naruto with a big hug, as she could feel his body withering away. I'm glad that I finally got to meet you guys, he said with a smile, as a fox looked down towards Naruto, who was about to rip off the seal. And in that moment he did something. The remaining Senjutsu chakra that was inside of Naruto caused a strange occurrence when the fox made his move. Time skip. Ino and the team arrive on the scene. As they arrived to see nothing but destruction. Where is he? Ino said, looking around. That is when they heard something as they turned. Over there, said Keo. Oh my god, he said. When they arrived toward the scene, their eyes went wide in shock. Kiba couldn't believe what he was seeing. He used his nose. Keo was there as well, and two others, Ino as well. Naruto? Ino said in shock. It worked, he said, with a smile on his face. Although he could feel them, he was glad to at least see her alive. Naruto, she said, however he started to fall. She rushed forward as she caught him in her arms. Naruto's body was withered down. You could see his bones. His hair was pitch white. I'm sorry. Tears started to fall from her eyes. Why are you apologizing? You did it. You saved us all. Sorry I never got to tell you how much I love you. She leaned down as she planted her lips on his, kissing him for the last moment as she could feel it, his life dwindling away. This was not a medical ninjutsu issue. So sorry. No, I'm the one who should be apologizing, she said, as a tear streamed down her face. I'm the one at fault. I'm sorry, she said. His hand came up and wiped away her tears. Don't cry. I don't want you to be sad. As long as you're okay. I'm alright, he said, as his hand fell. No, she screamed. As the others stood there, even Kiba was holding back tears as he watched. As Naruto's hand collapsed. As Keo stood there with shock. That is when he saw something. Wait, what is that? As Ino saw. As she placed her head down towards Naruto's chest. She heard his heart. She had to move back instantly as her hand got burned. She saw his eyes, but she did not care. She knew that he was sacrificing himself because he was the one that brought them all back. But what is going on? The spike faded rather quickly as Naruto dropped. He was still old and withered away, as Ino rushed over and placed her head towards his chest. However, she did not hear any heartbeat. She didn't hear anything at all. Time skip. It's been a month and a half since the event. A lot has happened since what happened at Konoha. Rumors and news had spread all over the elemental nation. Many things had happened. For one, Danzo Shamira of the Leaf was dead. He was killed by none other than Sasuke Uchiha himself. Sakura couldn't believe it what Sasuke did. And Sasuke had killed an elder of the village. However, the reason why he did it was unknown. Sasuke did not care though at the moment he was lying on a bed. His eyes were bandaged. He had faced off against Sakura and Kakashi, Yamato. They'd all tried to stop him. However, his eyes were too far gone, and he was taken back towards the base. Danzo had tried to take over the position of Hokage. Named himself the 6th Hokage, Jiraiya was busy protecting the village, making sure that they weren't attacked in their weakest moments. As Danzo had taken the hat, because of genetic condition, declaring himself the Hokage of them all. A meeting was called to discuss the Akatsuki issue. Danzo had went there, however, the place was attacked by none other than Sasuke Uchiha himself. Him and Danzo fought after he went against Hakage's, and he came out on top. Sasuke found out the truth from this masked man, and his vengeance towards the people that caused his pain had flared in anger. The leaf that turned his brother into a monster, Sasuke's goals and ideals were different right now. He had a different vision, a different path, and there was no one strong enough to set him back on the right path. Naruto was dead. Soon enough he would be awakened with the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. At the moment though, the masked man Obito was pissed off. He had no idea what happened to the eyes. None at all. And that really, truly pissed him off to no end. Nagato's body was not found after he went to the leaf. The reign was without a leader. People were scavenging to take control. The leaf was in bad shape. Naruto Uzumaki was dead. The deterrent, the unstoppable force that come to be known as the Red Flash was dead, leaving Konoha terribly weak. However, their manpower was still there. But still, that doesn't change anything. The reason why he was pissed off was because Nagato's body was gone, and the Rinnegan was gone. However, he still had majority of the tail beasts. Not to mention he had Sasuke on his side, and he also had Kisame on his side as well. But still, that doesn't really change anything. Without the Rinnegan, his plans would not happen, and that infuriated him. That is why he decided to perform a little experiment. Zetsu had gathered the cells of Hashirama and implanted them in Sasuke. In this critical moment while his Sharingan was evolving, they were hoping for a miracle. They were hoping for the best that Sasuke would awaken with, the eyes of the sage. As they were hoping that the process would be sped up, Zetsu was making sure of that by regulating the cells of Hashirama Senju inside of Sasuke. Sasuke was not aware of this yet, but he would be used as a pawn to make sure that what they seek come to fruition. With the Kyuubi holder dead, it will take some while for the Kyuubi to return. However, by that time, he will be ready. He will be prepared. As he glanced towards the Zetsus, a smirk on his face. Meanwhile, at Konoha, the village had still not been rebuilt yet, after all. The damage was severe after all. There were a lot of tents gathered. As Tsunade Senju had been brought back to her feet, she was back in fighting shape as she slowly made her way downstairs. There was an underground bunker that was used for situations like this. At the moment though, they were using it to hold someone down here. Making her way, she passed the guards. They had to lie. The populace had to think that he was dead. In the state that Konoha was in and the state that Naruto was in, many would jump at the chance to execute him. Many would jump at the chance to see him die, knowing that if he was brought back to his feet, with the power he now possessed, it will be detrimental for anyone that stand against Konoha. Jiraiya and several eye-level Jonins like Kakashi and Yamato were still on the field, showing that Konoha still possessed tremendous power. There was a Kage meeting for her to attend in a few weeks. The problem was the Ishikage. However, when she get there, she would sort that out. Arriving towards the lower level, as she arrived towards a room, as she stepped inside, the first person she saw was Sakura. Bags under her eyes. Sakura, you look tired, you should get some rest. I'm fine, Lady Hokage, she said. Sakura did not take the news well that Sasuke had killed Danzo. While Danzo was a worm and she knew that, he was still an elder of the leaf, and Sasuke was siding with the enemy. All of the Kages had saw him, but someone had taken him away in the last moments. The person under that mask was the one that they did not know. No one knew much about him. Karen and her group was the only one that encountered him along with Kakashi. Sakura and Yamato as well. Sasuke had turned his back on them. Sakura, it's not a request, you need to get some rest. Throwing yourself into work and killing yourself off by working every single day of the hour is not the right way. I taught you better than that. Sakura looked down in shame. I'm sorry, she said. It's alright. I know that you're not having a wonderful time right now given the situations that we're currently going through. But rest. You'll be informed if there's any changes. Sakura nodded as she left. However, the other one snatched doubt that she could convince to leave his side. She has been playing her part quite well, for the majority that knew her. They had to lie to the entire village as a whole, except for the few people that were aware of this situation. After all, they could not allow the populace to spread the news. It had to remain a secret that he was alive. Tsunade stepped in the room as she saw him. There were machines all over him. Luckily, they had taken him off the breather a few days ago. As he was able to breathe on his own, that meant he was getting better. His hair was completely white, not a strand of blonde in there anywhere. His body was being pumped with nutrients to keep it stable, and also make him put on back some weight on those bones. He had turned incredibly fragile. When she had woken up and saw his situation, she thought that there was no way of him coming out of this, but the kid was damn resilient. And she was happy. She was happy every single day that she came here and saw that he was getting better. But she had no idea how long it will take for him to wake up, or how long it will take for him to get better. Whatever he did, it completely sapped majority of his life force. It was a downright miracle that he was still alive, by all accounts, given his coils had been completely bursted open, and his heart fluctuations, he should have been dead, but here he was, asleep. She moved towards the bedside as she saw Ino there, her head resting on a pillow. She looked towards the girl with a small smile. The girl had been here every day. She took a time out of every single day to make sure that she checked up on him. She always knew that the girl had strong feelings for Naruto. What happened back then was just her insecurity, and Naruto loved this girl as well. She just needed him to wake up and come out of this, and be back on his feet. However, he was getting better. All they have to do now is wait. As she clenched her fist, though, as her mind wandered towards Uchiha. After being given a chance, he decided to turn against the Leaf. She had no idea what he was doing or what was going on. Why had he joined the enemy force? She didn't know what was going on. What did that masked man do to him? Perhaps it was mind control. After all, from what she heard from Karen, who was now a part of the medical corps, because of their link between Kira and them when Naruto had saved their village, they had spoken to the Mizukage, made Terume wanted to get to return back home, without any punishment after all. He was kidnapped for a majority of his life. Jugo was having sessions with the Yamanakas whenever they can squeeze it in. His mindset was all messed up, as he has a personality disorder that they need to fix. Otherwise, he would go crazy when he uses abilities. Other than that, the village has been slowly rebuilding all of the life that were lost. One of them being Jiraiya as well, that she was happy to see. As much as she called him a perv and punched him, she was glad that he was alright. However, the situation with Naruto was the one that was bothering her. By all accounts, there should be some sign of him waking up, but there is none, as she had no idea when he would ever come to. There was a chance that he could remain in this coma, and that was the worst thing for her to think about right now. That he could remain like this for the majority of his life. That is something she didn't want to think about. As she was talking to Sakura about getting some rest, but here she was, throwing herself to work. There were so much things going on. She had to branded Sasuke fully, missing Nin after he had killed Danzo. The nations were after him now because they saw the cloak that he was wearing, and after what the Akatsuki did. As Raikage was calling the meeting because his brother was taken, the one with Danzo did not went over so well after all. It ended up with him losing an arm, and Danzo being killed, and the place being partially destroyed. However, they need to get rid of the threat of the Akatsuki before it is too late. Meanwhile, Sasuke Uchiha body jerk, as the DNA of the Senju and his newly acquired Eternal Monkey to Sharingan starts to mix together, awakening something incredibly powerful. However, his jerk caused a chain reaction as well, as Naruto pinky finger moved, but he still did not wake up. Sasuke finally had the power to change civilization to change his world as he sees fit. And with the mindset that he had right now, well, he's become one dangerous bastard. However, the world thought that the Red Flash is dead, but that would not last, because he will rise again, and he will rise with a vengeance. But Sasuke will meet that vengeance with full force, and he will not stop until he achieves what he wants. And then there was Obito in the background, preparing and scheming to get things his way. So yeah guys, that's it. If you enjoy what's the next part, go ahead and comment down below and tell me what's the next part, and I'll be posting that as soon as possible for you guys to enjoy. But I'm out of here for now, see you guys soon, peace guys.